This is Morning Motivation for Educators on the Bee Podcast Network. Learn about all the shows at beepodcastnetwork.com. You'll hear from a variety of formal and informal educators who help put this podcast together. If you'd like to contribute your voice to the show, please go to morningmotivationedu.com to apply. Good morning, my friends. I am Candice Noss, a physical therapist, a life coach, a lifelong Christian, a mother of 6. And I created my business, the Mind, Body, Spirit Trifecta, where I liberate, enlighten, and empower others to elevate their mind, body, and spirit and own their divine greatness. It's Thankful Thursday. What are you thankful for today? I am thankful for understanding a powerful concept. Together we rise. I love this principle. In fact, along with 2 amazing friends, the 3 of us put on adventure retreats for women, and they're awesome. We call these retreats the Together We Rise retreats because this concept is so powerful and dear to my heart. I'm super grateful for the opportunity I have to be a part of these retreats dedicated to empowering women to rise and to rise in a way that's not competitive, but complementary, where the goal is not to compete with each other, but to complete each other. Through adventures and experiences, we teach the fun women who join us how to live with a mind firmly aligned, a body purposefully loved, and a spirit powerfully accessed in order to step into who they really are and to step up to their missions to this world. Once this internal journey to know themselves is underway, we then encourage them to help and support other women to rise. We laugh a lot, learn a ton, and connect on so many levels. Now, before I found life coaching and learned how to manage my brain, I used to look at success through a lens of scarcity. I felt there was only so much available for the taking. If someone else was victorious, that meant I was losing or at least lacking in some critical way. I suffered from what I like to call comparisonitis, where I would compare other people's wins to my failures and beat myself up. I would make their success mean I was failing. Scarcity uses others' shining moments as an impetus to berate and belittle ourselves for not doing what they were able to do. It's ridiculous, but totally natural. This mindset is driven by the extreme survivalism, the tribal paranoia, and the natural man tendencies of our lower brain. Although we are wired for scarcity, we don't have to react with our knee-jerk tendencies. The truth is, this type of scarcity thinking is just a bunch of lies and crap. Abundance is the reality. There is more than enough success, money, resources, good luck, wins. There's enough for everyone. More than enough. Your day in the sun will come. Scarcity and a life driven by the lower brain breeds a dog-eat-dog and a I've got to get mine type of mentality, which is divisive and polarizing. Remember the actual truth. There is an abundance of success and wins available to every single human being on this planet. We need each other in order to fully accomplish the great things we were sent here to do. Cheering each other on and supporting one another in the pursuit of dreams is one of the most rewarding and powerful things we can do in mortality. Together we rise. I love it. It came from a quote that I absolutely love. A rising tide lifts all ships. Think about it. A rising tide lifts all ships. When the people around us are rising, we rise with them. We are automatically elevated by their up-leveling. As we focus on the good gets better. Now, this is always the case because of the universal truth, that which we focus on expands. Our brain finds evidence to prove whatever we are thinking to be true. The law of attraction is always in play. Focusing on the wins of another and being their biggest fan can then serve to inspire us to follow their lead and tap into our own greatness. Shining a light on their success with love and support will empower us to bravely follow our own purpose and experience our own success. It engenders a feeling of your victory equals my victory. which creates unity and a sisterhood that can transform communities. Instead of comparing with the focus landing on our shortcomings, compare in order to channel our focus on what they are showing us is possible. Compare for inspiration, not degradation. I love the quote, "One woman can change a life, but together we can rock the world." It is so true. I am so grateful for the ability of our higher brains to override the default wiring of our lower brain. We absolutely must override the default negativity bias and natural man in order to not be threatened by the awesomeness of others. Only by intentionally choosing a together we rise mentality can the greatness of others enable us to be awakened, motivated, and empowered by them. This is a beautiful excerpt from Fighting Forward by Hannah Brencher. I feel that this articulates the concept of together we rise in a beautiful and powerful way. She says, "I can tell you from experience that stepping into someone else's race to push them forward is one of the more fulfilling tasks you will ever take part in. You may not think that at first, and you may not always feel like showing up, but I can promise you that something will start to shift in your heart as you become a cheerleader for other people. Something will change, and no amount of good sentences or words will be able to truly capture what that feeling is. I have to believe that God knit and designed a special feeling that is only unlocked when we put people in front of ourselves and push them to be bright. At any point in the story, you can become the kind of person who clears enough space to grab the poster board and make the glittery sign for someone who needs it as they've run the race. You can show up in the cold and the rain and the heat to walk and run those metaphorical miles alongside someone. You can stand in the front row of their story, pump your fist in the air, and remind them of this: we don't give up. We just keep getting better. What if we believed in the long distance of one another like that? What if we stopped treating life as a solo race and started seeing the deeper threads of a relay, of a passing of the baton, of spurring one another on and picking up the slack when someone else is tired? It would be more beautiful, that's for sure." End quote. I am so grateful that this life is not a solo race. I'm thankful to know that together we rise. I'm grateful for all of you educators that go out there and strive to mentor and bless and cheer on your students. Thank you. Thank you for joining me today and for being part of my journey. I truly am thankful for you. If you'd like more from me, I'm filling up my Body Love Weight Release course right now. Find links in the show notes. You can also join my Thankful Thursday email or listen to and subscribe to my podcast called Designed for Greatness with Candice Noss. Links are in the show notes. And whatever role you have in education, we have a podcast for you at bpodcastnetwork.com. Who among your friends and colleagues needs to hear this message today? Please share it with them right now.